And welcome to another unfiltered edition of Talking Sports. I am your host, one of your hosts, excuse me, Andrew Volkman, and this is my co-host.
Miles Shield, how you doing, everyone? Virtual, but I felt we had to get this up. So me and Andrew back. Even though you got us 2 days ago, we have more to talk about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We couldn't quite get this into the conversation on Sunday or Saturday. It was Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm losing my mind here because it's the NBA draft and overall the NBA. This is going to be the main focus of the show today, and two big conversations, kind of intertwined, I would say, at this current moment. First is Giannis Antetekounmpo. We talked about it a little bit on Saturday and like what a trade might be, but there's been some new developments, especially like early this morning today on Monday. It's 8:30 p.m. when we're recording this, so some stuff has come out. And the big thing that has come out is, according to Shams Charania, the ESPN insider for the NBA, is that Giannis could be traded within the next 48 hours. We could see Giannis getting traded live on the show. That would be a dream, honestly. So we get to live react to that. We've never done that. Like the closest we gotten is that Mike Vrabel got hired, I think, as the head coach of the New England Patriots, and like we were like an hour after the fact we started recording. So, anyways, that could happen very well much in the show, or it could happen tomorrow on draft night. Again, when we're recording this, you're probably hearing this on Tuesday morning or whenever you get this out to you. Anyways, Giannis could be traded, and the NBA draft approaching very very quickly. We're within 24 hours of the NBA draft in round one. So let's start by talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo. According to Shams Charania, Miles, Giannis could be traded as soon as today on Monday, and he most likely will be headed to the Boston Celtics, possibly in a three-team deal involving Jaylen Brown of the Celtics. He is going to be on the move potentially in this deal as well. Miles, what do you make of these new findings of Shams?
Yeah, that's definitely it's hard. It's hard to think about as a Bucks fan because I'm having a lot of mixed emotions, right?
Yeah.
I obviously would I love Giannis, but it's definitely time to move on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think by now it's 8:30 and we're not hearing that Giannis has been traded. I don't think it will happen unless it's a weird like midnight thing like the Luka Anthony Davis trade was.
Mm-hmm.
I think this will be a draft day trade
Okay.
tomorrow during the draft just because of the fact that there are teams that could be sleepers in here. And here are my two questions to answer. And they have nothing to do with Giannis. All right. So the two questions of the Giannis trade have nothing to do with Giannis. The first question is with the Heat deal.
Mm-hmm.
How badly do the Detroit Pistons want Tyler Hero?
Oh yeah.
If the Pistons are willing to give up 3 first-round picks and maybe a young player or two, no brainer. Because then you're getting young players from the Heat, you're getting picks from the Heat, and you're getting picks from the Pistons. That would total up to 5 to 6 first-round picks and multiple young players. That's a no-brainer deal. The question is, do the Pistons value Tyler Hero that much? On the other side of it, Jaylen Brown. Not even if, when there's a trade, and if Jaylen Brown is a part of it, do the Bucks keep Jaylen Brown or trade Jaylen Brown? My personal opinion, you trade Jaylen Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that I don't think we can win, right? Look at what Jaylen Brown did. 28 points per game this season, 4th best in the league right now in scoring. He made it clear that he can carry the Celtics, right? They didn't have Tatum the entire year. And then he goes out there and he dominated the season. So do the Bucks see that as, well, we don't have the team right now, but we put Jaylen Brown there. He'll make the rest of the team better. Can we do what the Celtics did? And guess what? The Celtics didn't win the championship. And our supporting cast would be worse than what they have up there in Boston. So my personal opinion is, if this is a 3-team or more or multiple team trade, Jaylen Brown goes to a different team. You want to hear my sleeper for who could be the third team?
Yeah, sure. Let's hear it.
The The Los Angeles Clippers.
Okay, there it is.
Sorry, because I was looking at the Clippers holding the fifth pick and thinking about the Pacers because it's the Pacers pick,
Yeah.
which was part of the Zubac trade. So the Clippers and Jaylen Brown, I think, would mesh pretty well. And with that, yes, there's going to be some money issues, but that's not my problem. Right now, as I see it, the Clippers can give us five, the fifth overall pick. That would be huge.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, I think Benedict Mathurin would be an absolute steal if we could get him. I have no doubt that he would be in that trade again due to money.
Yeah.
I would love Benedict Mathurin on the Bucks. I really like the guy. You send him over there. Jaylen Brown's now there. I think Giannis goes to the Celtics, and now you're gonna have five, which I truly believe you can get a guy like Darius Akoff Jr. and who can completely change your organization. You still have 10 where you're going to get a guy like Nate Ahmet. That's what I think. I think Jaylen Brown goes to the Clippers. Giannis goes to the Celtics. We get five. We get Benedict Mathurin. Obviously, I think the Celtics would have to give us Hugo Gonzalez. I know the Celtics really like him. He was their first round pick last year. I think he's got to go to the Bucks, which that's a big piece for us. He didn't get a ton of playing time, but I think he's got a lot of potential. We get probably 1 to 2 first round picks from the Celtics. We get maybe 1 to 2 first round picks from the Clippers. So yes, we are taking risks, but we're getting in the top 5 for that. Now, on the flip side of it, the Heat. If the Heat can give us what it sounds like is they don't want to give us Kasper Chakunis.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I really want him. Now, we'd get Khalil Ware. We'd probably get Jamie Jaquez. We'd probably get 3 to 4 first-round picks. Like I said, Tyler Hero would go to the Pistons. Question is, how much do the Pistons value Tyler Hero? Andrew, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I agree with the Clippers take. I do think that, with everything that's come out today, based on where, like, who can be involved in the trade if, the Bucks and the Celtics make a deal for Giannis, Jaylen Brown, I think, does go to the Clippers. I think it makes sense. Like, yes, they do have Kawhi Leonard, and as well they have Darius Garland, but at this point, Darius Garland isn't, he's not going to be your top guy on a roster anymore. He's not. He's simply not going to be that guy. And again, Kawhi Leonard, he's very, very good still. He averaged 27, almost 28 points a game pretty much. He's still very good, but again, he's 34 years old. He's getting up there in age. You don't know how much time you're gonna have left with him, if he can stay healthy as well. You're getting Jaylen Brown as the guy, like him to be the centerpiece. I think is a phenomenal move to just shore up and really solidify this team, the Clippers, for another couple years while he's still under contract. So, and I agree with that take. And I think the Heat as well, like you said, I don't think the Heat are out of it entirely, but I think it will take a lot for, the Bucks and the Heat to come together again with, Kasparis Yakachonis being the guy that the Bucks probably want, and I know you want as well. Him being the guy we want, and the Heat not willing to give him up. It's going to be more difficult for us to get that trade done. Especially, again, giving Jamie Jaquez and Khalil Ware is going to be really nice. But I think it's a little bit more leaning towards more of a Celtics and Bucks deal. Again, there's not a lot of information out right now besides the Bucks and Celtics are actively trying to work on a deal involving Giannis and Jaylen Brown. We have no idea if there will be a third team involved. We don't know who the third team is, if there is one. So we're just speculating right now, and it's very difficult to come to a conclusion about that. So I'm hoping it is the Clippers so we can get the 5th overall pick because, currently what ESPN has, like with their latest mock draft, Nate Ahmet, the guy that, I'm kind of excited about and what Miles you're excited about is they have him going number 9 to the Mavs, 1 pick ahead of us, where we're at 10, and we get Braden Burries, shooting guard out of Arizona. So, there could be a chance that we maybe reach on a guy like Nate Ahmet event a little bit more, or if we get 5, we hope that maybe Caleb Wilson maybe falls a little bit because the Bulls have options at 4. Because I think, easily the top 3 is Cam Boozer and, Darren Peterson and AJ DeBonsta in whatever order, which we'll have to talk about that a little bit more. But beyond that, the top 10 is a little bit of more unknown, I would say, but we can maybe see what we can get at 5. That's what at least I'm hoping for. So, uh, anyways, yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Miles. You have anything else to say?
Uh, Not really. I'm a little bit. I don't know. I'm wary because I feel like we're always expecting Giannis to get traded, then he never does. Is there, Andrew? I want to hear in your mind: is there any way Giannis makes it through the NBA draft and stays a Milwaukee Buck?
There definitely is a world, and that's unfortunate because it happened last year. It happened last year. I do think though that it's a little bit more likely to happen this year because I remember last year in the draft there wasn't nearly as much chatter as there is this year. And again, Shams openly reported that the Bucks are talking with the Celtics, and they're both working to get a deal done before the draft. And I know it's only a day before the draft, and it can take forever. Like trades can take a while to work out, or they can happen like in an instant. Like the NBA Finals was still going on when KD got traded last year to the Rockets. So deals in the NBA can happen like that, like almost immediately in the offseason, or they can take forever to get done. And we're in like training camp, and we're a couple of days from the NBA season starting potentially, and Giannis gets traded. So like, it's weird. I do think though, again, with how much chatter we've had this year, leading up to the draft compared to last year, I think a deal probably will get done before the draft, or at least on draft night. I would think, but like the clock's ticking on the Bucks and the Celtics to get it done because yeah, like once the draft starts, like you really have to have something getting like you better be like dang close to getting a deal done if you're not already because again the picks go fast. Like it may not seem very fast, but the picks go quick, and before you know it, it'll be 5, and the Clippers are on the clock, and you're struggling to get this deal together. So it's very like again it's you're very weary of it, and I am too now. So
Yeah,
yeah, this is a very interesting situation. And it wasn't like this last year. It really wasn't like this last year because, again, it really does seem like Giannis will get traded. And it's the wheels are in motion already, and the work is being done for Giannis to be traded elsewhere. So yeah, very interesting situation for us as Bucks fans over here right now. I
yeah.
I haven't been I can't remember being in this situation ever. Like I really can't. Like not even on the trade deadline, I can't even remember this. Like the NBA Finals doesn't compare to this. Like the suspense of this is way more than the NBA Finals in 2021. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, to me, the suspense here is like when Kevin Durant hit the game winner, but his toe was on the line when
Yeah,
he was with the Nets on our championship run. That's the suspense to me right now
yeah.
because I think what we're thinking is exactly what John Horst and the entire Milwaukee Bucks organization is thinking is you can't mess this up,
Yeah.
right? Like you have to be 100% sure when you do this. And obviously, I don't think you're ever going to be 100% sure because you're going to be giving up the guy who you drafted, who everyone doubted, right? The guy who carried you through so many years, who won you a championship, who's a multi-time MVP. Like it's hard to trade him. But I think what's best for the team right now is he gets traded. And I think you have to milk everything you can. I think you have to use him as much as you can and get all you can get in return and have a quick turnaround like the Spurs did, like the Thunder did, and use the picks to your advantage, which is something I'm nervous about. Like NBA draft picks, like they are not for sure. There are so many busts. It's like one of the top 10 is going to be actually really good. And it's just scary. It's just really scary. All this uncertainty when we've had such a certain team. Every year we go in knowing Giannis will be there. And now the question is, who's going to replace him? And I think no one will ever replace him.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping something happens where we get 5, we get Darius Akoff, we have whatever young players we can do. Ryan Rollins is out there playing his heart out. I think we trade Miles Turner at some point in a separate trade, get a little bit more out of that because he's still valued as a center in this league. I think the Bucks are in control. The question is, what move are they going to make?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and move on now. I think we've talked about the Giannis trade quite enough, and I think we've, you know, gotten a lot of conversation out of this. Let's talk about the draft to wrap up here, and specifically, let's start by talking about the top three. Because Miles, I know you talked about this a little bit on Saturday, and it was very brief, but we have no idea who the Wizards are going to take at number one. It's one of the two of DeBonsta and Peterson, and right now they've met with both and now that Trae Young re-signed a new 4-year deal, which also got a lot of money. That was a lot of money going to Trae Young. I think we may have a better idea now of who the Washington Wizards might pick. So, Miles, what's your take? Because I know you've been thinking about this. You've been talking to me about it. What's your take on this?
Yeah. Well, I think before the Trae Young signing, I was leaning towards Darren Peterson. And I don't know. I'm not super high on him, but I know a lot of other people are. And you can't deny he's got some electric play. To me, it's a character thing, but I mean, he's got talent, and you can't deny that no matter what. And I don't see. They could still take Darren Peterson at one with Trae
Yeah.
Young and build those two guards. But I think AJ DeBonsta just makes a lot more sense here. You have a big three in Young, DeBonsta, and Anthony Davis. I think it'd be dumb to pass up on DeBonsta here. Now, I don't know. Maybe Washington's feeling risky and they go Darren Peterson. If I'm in that position, I think I would take AJ DeBonsta. But I like Darren Peterson because the intrigue. To me, he's more of a question mark. Like, I feel like he's got a little bit more potential than AJ DeBonsta. I don't know. I think number one, AJ DeBonsta. Number two, Darren Peterson. Number three, Cam Boozer. I know that's what everyone's saying, but I think what we should really be questioning is the 4 and 5. Because 4, who knows? The Bulls could be in on a 3-team deal that sends Jaylen Brown to Chicago. We don't know. Caleb Wilson could be going to the Bucks. We don't know. Darius Akoff Jr. at 5. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they'll go with Keaton Wiggler or somebody like that. But yeah, I think there's a lot of good options here. I am still confused if it's going to be Peterson or DeBonsta.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, there's no certainty about who's gonna go in the top three. I think it's just like, again, the rest of the top 10 is a question mark because every one of these teams could be uh, really involved in this Giannis trade, and the Giannis trade is going to shape the entire NBA offseason. Again, the Bulls could be part of this trade, and Jaylen Brown goes to the Bulls because right now they're in a bit of a interesting position with their team because they got Josh Giddey as the leader of the team, which I mean, that's a thing, I guess. That's really a thing down in Chicago, much like everything else that's been going on with Chicago sports as of late, except the Bears. I will admit the Bears actually looked competent as an organization with their run last year in the NFL. But yeah, I agree. There's so much unknown with the rest of the top 10 in the NBA draft because there's so many good guards in the draft, dude. There's so many good guards with Kingston Flemings out of Houston, Darius Akoff Jr. out of Arkansas, Michael Brown Jr. from Louisville, Keaton Wagler out of Illinois, and then as well, excuse me, the Bucks are projected to get Braden Burries out of Arizona from ESPN's mock draft as well, and then some other good forwards outside the top 10, like Yaxel Lindenborg from Michigan, who really burst onto the scene, Heinz Steinbach from Washington, Kareem Lopez from Mexico. He's another forward. Morez Johnson Jr. from Michigan, and their entire national championship team. Ade Mara, the center, the big center from Michigan as well. So much like interesting players in the early parts of this draft that are going to be exciting to watch. I think when it's all said and done, and we get into next year. So, yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow night, Miles. I don't know about you.
I am absolutely excited for tomorrow night, and I just have no idea because I mean I can't remember the last time the Bucks have actually had an exciting role in the draft. Right, last time we drafted someone was Marjon freaking Beauchamp, and that just didn't work out at all, like at all. So obviously some PTSD from that, but we'll see. I'm interested, and I think right now the only way the Bucks move up would be the Clippers in this year's draft.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It
No,
seems.
Andrew, I have a question for you though. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, what's up?
Uh, okay, the Celtics accept the trade here. Do you trade Jaylen Brown or do you keep him and try to win?
Well, I think in this scenario, like the scenario that you're coming up with, you 100% trade AJ Jaylen Brown. I did that on Saturday too. I did that on Saturday. I mixed up AJ and Jalen. I think you do trade Jaylen Brown because he's again far too valuable of an asset for the Bucks in their current position where they can't win now unless the Bucks have a lot of a belief that they can make it happen in just what like one season they can turn it around rapidly. Like Jaylen Brown's the only thing that really makes them turn around. Like I don't see that. So in this scenario that you have with the Bucks being like a 1-for-1 with the Bucks and Celtics, Jaylen Brown's 100% getting traded again for something. Future picks, most likely. That's what I think. But I think right now, like what I'm thinking is going to happen, it's going to be a three-team deal with the Bucks, Celtics, and another team. Jaylen Brown goes to that third team. Giannis goes to the Celtics, and we get maybe one of the Celtics picks in the future, maybe this year, because I think the Celtics. I don't even think the Celtics have a first-round pick this year. I don't think they
They
control.
do at 27.
Yeah, you're right. I just saw. So like maybe we get that if the Celtics are wanting to give that up, but I don't think the Bucks will be wanting that pick at all, especially when it's such a low pick in the first round. It's not very valuable. There's not going to be much talent there. It's such a risky pick. Uh, I think we mostly get picks from the other team, the third team, and I think like I saw this really interesting scenario like this morning when I first saw this Shams Sharana news, is that the Bucks send Giannis to the Celtics. I said Clippers again. Jaylen Brown goes to the Trailblazers and we get our picks back from the Trailblazers. Because this was the thing that we were thinking about early at like the trade deadline, or like when the regular season ended, like the Bucks trading Giannis to the Trailblazers straight up, and we get a bunch of picks back. Maybe we get a prospect here and there, and like in this scenario, we get Scoot Henderson back and give him a true opportunity to be a starter.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. I think right now all the talks are just behind locked doors, and we have no idea. We could be so off. This could
Yeah.
all be something they're just pulling over our heads here. So I have no idea. But Andrew, what do you value more here, picks or young players with potential?
Um, I think moving forward, I think honestly picks are more valuable than the young players. I really do, because the players that like we could be getting in the trades, they could be. I think they probably have less potential than the guys we could get in the draft, especially this year. Because I don't think we're getting any players from the Celtics. I really don't. We're probably gonna get players from the third team and picks because of money. Um, but like if we were gonna trade Giannis to the Heat, if we're gonna trade Giannis to the Heat, like we get Tyler Hero, Jamie Yaquez, Khalil Ware, they have significantly like less like potential than a guy that we could get in a future draft with picks. That's what I
Yeah.
think. So I would value picks a little bit more honestly, but uh, like if you want a quick turnaround retool, you probably want young players. But what I want is more of a standard rebuild where you don't rush it and you have to build it from the ground up with players you draft, players you find and develop, and then you go from there and win. I prefer that sense of a rebuild more than a quick turnaround because I think a quick turnaround you invest too much. You invest a lot more with much more risk than a just slower rebuild that has zero pressure on it, I would say.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Final thoughts, final predictions, just so you can say, "Hey, I knew this was going to happen." What is your last words on the Giannis trade and the draft?
I think, well, one, I think AJ DeBonsta is going to go first overall uh, to the Wizards. I think that's a safe prediction. I'll be safe with that one. I think I have a bold prediction though, where I just mentioned it. I think Giannis, the Celtics, and the Blazers come up with a deal. I think we send Giannis to the Celtics. Jaylen Brown goes to the Portland Trailblazers, and we get our picks back, and we get a prospect, whoever that may be. I mean, personally, I don't know if it should be Scoot Henderson because I think Scoot Henderson probably is a bust now at this point. But I think honestly, with how much more of his rookie contract we have, it's probably more of a low risk type scenario with how many picks we're getting back, and we can see if he develops at all or if he completely flops, and we just say, well, we tried with him. We still have our picks. Whoop de doo. I think that's my bold prediction that the Blazers are the third team in this Celtics and Bucks trade, and not the Clippers. So the Bucks maybe don't move up in the draft more than they already are. They just get more picks for the future and stick at 10 this year.
Yeah, I like that prediction. I'll just go the opposite of what you're saying. I think number one's going to be Darren Peterson. Honestly, I could see it go either way. I'm interested in it though. I think Darren. I'm gonna go Darren Peterson at one. All right, that's my strong thought there. I personally think in the Giannis trade there will be more than three teams involved.
Yeah.
I think there will be above that. Now, I don't believe the Trailblazers would be, and I think they're it's a good thought, but I think it's going to be the Clippers. I think Clippers give us 5. I think Clippers take Jaylen Brown. I think that's my final thoughts there.
All right. I mean, yeah. Again, like you said, we've said several times in this, we don't know, and there's so much we don't know, and so much that's out of our control, and it's gonna happen in such a short amount of time. We think that it's all gonna happen so fast, and we're not gonna know what's gonna happen. So, yeah, a lot of craziness that is unfolding now, and is still yet to be determined and still yet to happen. So, yeah, you can trust us though when we say that we'll be right here again when this trade goes down because it is happening. It's gonna happen. It's more likely to happen than it is not. So when it does happen, you can be sure that me and Miles will be here reporting and talking about it in some capacity, whether it's virtual
Absolutely.
or we're in person again. Who knows? It could happen.
Who knows?
Like with our luck, it might happen as soon as we stop recording.
Oh, for sure.
Because I remember, what was it? There was a humongous trade that happened. I can't remember what it was, but
Was it the Trae Young one?
I think it was the Trae Young trade. I think it was the Trae Young trade. As soon as we signed off, when we were talking about Giannis, it was a virtual episode back in February. Yeah, the Trae Young trade went down like 5 minutes afterwards, and I was pissed about that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh.
What?
Oh my gosh. It happened.
You're joking.
No. Oh my gosh.
You serious?
Giannis to the Celtics.
You gotta be joking with me right now.
Yeah, you're right. I'm joking.
Okay,
I had nothing. I just looked it up.
Yeah, cause I have alerts on my phone right now, and it would pop up if it did. So I know it did happen. I knew it did. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Well, good joke, Miles.
I would just final things.
Yep.
Giannis has posted just a few hours ago, and I quote, "God, I trusted you at the beginning, and I will continue to trust you throughout." Prayer or folded hands emoji, 100% emoji, unquote. What does it mean?
It means that whatever happens, I'm gonna follow it. That's what I think.
So you don't think he knows?
No. Well, I know what he wants. He wants to go somewhere else. He wants to go to the Heat.
Yeah.
I know it. He knows what he wants. I think he doesn't know what the Bucks are going to decide to do. I think all that he knows is what he wants, and that's to go to the Heat. And that's what that's saying, I guess. I don't know. I could be reading completely wrong into that. I've done that with several different things recently, so I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, a good insight there, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, I think that's gonna wrap it up here. We've rambled too long. It's 9 o'clock, guys. Like we gotta go. So thank you so much for listening to this very weirdly unfiltered episode. I don't know. Very unfiltered episode of Talking Sports. We'll see you soon. Stay tuned for more and have a great rest of your day, night. I don't know. Thank you so much for
See you
listening.
guys.
I'm Andrew.
And Miles.
See you later.
Bye.